To all my ladies, this video is for you. 3 years ago, I was absolutely terrified to go on a trip alone. I mean, I sound audacious and bold, but I'm a bit of a coward. But then 2 years ago, I decided it is time. It is time to go alone. Actually, the reality is that my friend bailed on me, so I had no choice but to go alone. However, it ended up being one of the best experiences in my life. Now, if you're watching this video, I'm guessing you're planning to go on a trip alone. Unless the YouTube algorithm worked its magic and you just randomly ended up on this video, in which case, hi. I didn't expect you here. Either way, I'm going to share with you my main tips for traveling solo, and specifically traveling solo as a woman. Prepare, but don't over-prepare. If it's your first trip alone, it's always good to have a plan. Firstly, think of your budget, because girl, I know it is tempting to buy everything you see once you're there. But remember, you still got taxes to pay, and as far as I'm concerned, you don't have time on your schedule to be in prison. You can also prepare what you want to see, what museums you want to go to, what food you want to try. This will not only get you hyped, but it will actually also be beneficial for you, because as weird as this may sound, but plans reassure our brains. They make us feel organized and like we've got our life together, even though sometimes we don't. So a plan is always a good way to just feel like you're prepared. But remember to not overplan, leave space for change and spontaneous things to happen, because you don't know what your trip is going to be like. So always, be flexible. Don't believe everything that you hear. I love my mom, but if I listened to her every time she said there was a danger, I'd probably end up like Rapunzel, locked up in my room. Family and friends can actually sometimes discourage you from your trip, and it's only because their own fear and anxiety are speaking. Now, you can listen to them, but you don't actually have to believe them. The last thing you need is for you to fear your own trip, which will just ultimately ruin your whole experience. Reassure them, listen, but don't believe them. Pack well. This may seem fairly straightforward, but when you're traveling solo, it is 10 times more important to pack well. I insist! Usually you can rely on your friend for toothpaste, period pads, or, plasters. But here, you only got one friend.
Wilson, where are you? Wilson! Wilson! Wilson!
No, it's not Wilson. It's yourself. For instance, I always bring my fanny. Pack! My fanny pack. And here I just keep all my precious stuff, so I just don't lose it. Connect with other female travelers. What I like to do is always connect with other female travelers around the world, because they give you tips, they share their experience, and they can give you information on the country you're going to. One of my ultimate favorite groups is called Girls Love Travel. It is such a caring, warm-hearted group. I mean, the girls on there are just so kind to each other. That feminine solidarity is just there, I put the link down below so you can just click on it, like the page, and you'll just meet the kindest female travelers that are just, they're so kind. I can't explain it. Meet other travelers. I remember I was so scared of feeling lonely. I mean, talking to myself is fun, but it's definitely not as fun as pestering someone with my voice, But I soon realized that traveling solo doesn't actually mean being alone. In fact, you meet so many more people when you're traveling alone, for two reasons. Firstly, you're less intimidating, and secondly, you're going to make more effort to get to know people. Now, if you're also kind of worried about this, here are some ways that you can meet other travelers. Firstly, through free walking tours. That's actually how I met the YouTuber Nadir on the go. Hi Nadir. It's great because you get to discover the city, but with other travelers. Secondly, make sure that you book a hostel that is solo traveler friendly, so that can either be like a party hostel or a hostel that has a lot of common rooms, because that way you can really get to know other travelers. Meet locals. Meeting locals is by far the best way to get to know a new place and a new culture. And I know your social anxiety is screaming at me right now. But yes, you're gonna have to talk to strangers, and yes, I'm defying what you were told as a kid. If the person doesn't have a white van, a weird pedo smile, and isn't offering you sweets, there's a big chance you'll be okay. And I know it's hard to talk to strangers, especially in our hyper-connected society where we're more used to talking through the internet than in real life. But it isn't impossible. For instance, you could go eat alone and chat up the person that is sitting at the table next to you, or talk to somebody on the train asking them for directions. The truth is, People love talking about themselves, so if you go up to them asking them a question, I'm pretty sure they will answer with great enthusiasm. Stay safe. The chances of you meeting a man in a white van with a weird pedo smell and offering you sweets is very low. But let's be real, there is still danger, especially if you're a female and you're a solo traveler. Here are the 2 rules that I abide to in order to stay safe. Firstly, learn how to say no. It's important to trust your gut, and when your gut says no, it means no. Don't try and be nice, just, respect your own boundaries. And secondly, no drinking. Honey, I know you were planning to drink that mojito, but the mojito can wait. The problem is when you're drinking, you're putting yourself in a much more vulnerable position, and although, and I insist, it is never your fault if someone does something bad to you, you might as well just be extra careful when you're in a different country and when you're alone. Also, your liver will thank you for it. Document your travel. Although you might feel like you have no one to share your travels with, you do. That can be through a diary or blog, or what I did was just take a camera and start vlogging. And honestly, this guy right here was my best friend. Let's go. Warning to vegans, this tip is extremely cheesy but truthful. Accept that you will get lonely sometimes. You will have to face difficulties. You will be tired, but ultimately, that is just part of your experience. And this is where the therapy of solo traveling comes in, because solo traveling allows you to enjoy your own company. I really hope that these tips helped you and gave you the reassurance that you need to do that solo trip. If you have any questions, comment down below and I will definitely answer. See ya!